founding this great university, which he described as the most modern, most organized, and most technically sound university he had seen in Nigeria.
AUN's honor students, members of the Honor Society who so ably represent what we strive for here at this university, which is academic excellence. Will the members of the Honor Society please rise, and will Professor Fonkum, their faculty advisor, please join me on the stage. He will present the award.
Thank you, President Ensign. As an academic institution committed to quality higher education, we are tasked with educating the next generation of leaders here in Nigeria. This is a mission that the Board of Trustees, the administration, faculty, and staff all take very seriously.
Can I ask the members of the Honor Society to please put on their medallions and turn and face the audience so we can all honor you.
It is now advised.
We as a business delivering a great product of education. Our customers are all of the students out here. The service deliverers are the professors. And in the background, providing all the support are the staff people. They're the people that keep the electricity running, the air conditioning working, the plumbing working, and run people around in buses and cars. And it's really my pleasure to present today 2 staff awards. The first is for the Staff Community Service Award winner. This is Charles Appleton. Charles is a driver, been with the University since...
Award. Award criteria include a faculty member's contribution to teaching, scholarship, and community service. This year, we received nominations for 4 outstanding candidates. Unfortunately, we can only award to only 1 candidate. This year's recipient called the highest number of votes from all faculty members in the school. The faculty award recipient, therefore, from the School of Arts and Sciences this year is Dr. Albert Utere.
Professor Leo School's award
includes scholarship, services, which include both university and community services, and of course teaching. And the process was democratically done by the faculty members of School of Business and Entrepreneurship. The recipient for this year's award, Ms. Jelena, group student.
It is impossible to do justice to His Excellency in a few paragraphs. I am new here, while many in this audience have known, worked with, loved, and respected him for many years. 5 years ago, when AUN opened its doors, the permanent campus across the street was still a dream. In the beginning, AUN classrooms, the library, and residence halls were all here on the grounds of APTI Academy. It was a bit cramped, I am told, but that did not dampen the enthusiasm of the staff or dull the excitement of those wonderful pioneering students. Together, they threw themselves into this bold adventure. Since those days, AUN has grown and flourished to become one of the most distinguished universities in West Africa. Our founder's generosity was not limited to just launching this new university, however. He has continued to be involved, and he has continued his remarkable contributions to his community and to his country. The leader and visionary of Nigeria who never forgot his roots here in Yola. We are now, because of his generosity, constructing a new state-of-the-art library.
Dr. Mohammed Barkindo Aliyu Mustafa and members of the Adamawa Emirate Council, Chairman Joda, members of the Board of Trustees, President Ensign, faculty, staff, students, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I would like to start by expressing my sincere appreciation for the invitation to give brief remarks at this year's Founders' Day celebration at the American University of Nigeria, Yola, and the inauguration of Dr. Ensign as the new president of the university. I congratulate the university for attaining the grand young age of 5, and Dr. Ensign for her well-deserved appointment to head AUN at a crucial time in the life of the institution. I have no doubt in my mind that Dr. Ensign will be able to take the university to new heights and help it to meet the aspirations of not only the founders, but also of the institution students and the Nigerian society at large. Universities and their traditional roles. It may at this point be pertinent to pose the question, what really is a university? I'm aware that there is no consensus among academics on the definition of the term. I'm also aware that the meaning attached to the term may vary from country to country. Despite the contentions over meaning, I believe that a university can broadly be described as an institution of higher education and research which grants academic degrees in a variety of subjects. Often embedded in the idea of a university is the notion of academic freedom. Traditionally, universities perform several roles in the society. These include the following: knowledge generation and diffusion. Universities not only generate knowledge from talented people, they also help to diffuse such knowledge throughout the society through such means as books, journals, seminars, and interaction with potential consumers of the knowledge they generate. Training or retraining the manpower needed by the society. Conveying seed money for exploratory research. Being significant catalysts in the emergence and development of a local supply chain by their role as significant purchasers of local products and services. Offering accessible means to continually upgrade skills and learn new knowledge. From ivory tower to developmental university, there is often a tendency to use the term ivory tower to geographically describe traditional universities. In this context, the word is commonly used to describe a world or atmosphere where scholars engage in intellectual pursuits that are disconnected from the practical concerns of everyday life. In the notion of universities as ivory towers, there is often a tendency for knowledge to be pursued, created or distributed just for its own sake, rather than for such knowledge to be attuned to the immediate needs and developmental aspirations of the society. It is increasingly being realized that in our type of society, with its monumental developmental challenges, the notion of universities as ivory towers is a luxury we cannot afford. The fact that the various nationalities that make up the country has been together for this long, despite occasional hiccups, is worth celebrating. Can you imagine 50 years of marriage without breakup? This is not to say that the generalized frustrations of rising incidence of poverty, epileptic power supply, dilapidated infrastructure, collapsed education, and pervasive insecurity are not justified. Of course they are. The critical questions for me are, how can we make things better? How can we turn this country around? How can we together make good things happen? This is why I believe that universities, just like many agencies in the society, need to be transformed into developmental institutions to help arrest the decay in the country and meet the aspirations of our people. Nigerian universities, as ivory towers, will be ill-equipped for such challenges. American University of Nigeria at 5. When the idea of the American University of Nigeria was conceived, it was partly informed by my disenchantment with the state of many of the existing universities in the country, and partly to put into practice the notion that a university in our type of society should be an active participant in the developmental process. This is why from inception, the emphasis at AUN has been on critical thinking, small classes, student participation, and problem solving. Not so? Of Americans in other AU, the American fights taken so far by AUN within its short existence, including being the first university in this country to be a wireless campus. I have no doubt in my mind that AUN is on course to making the desired impact and meeting its expectations as a developmental university. Obviously, like any new institution, there are challenges here and there. One of these challenges, which we hope will be resolved quickly, is the rapid turnover of its presidents. Within 5 years of its existence, for instance, AUN has had 3 presidents. Obviously, such a rapid turnover in the leadership of the institution could affect the nature of the roadmap in which it seeks to realize its mission. It is therefore hoped that the inauguration of Dr. Insha today as the new head of AUN will be a turning point. Once again, I congratulate Dr. Insha for her well-deserved appointment and wish her a successful tenure. I thank all students of AUN for being worthy ambassadors of this institution. I deeply appreciate the contributions of all who helped to transform the AUN from being a mere idea a couple of years ago to one of the most respected universities in sub-Saharan Africa within only 5 years of its existence. I'm grateful to all of you who are congregated here today to share this special occasion with us. May God bless you all, and thank you for listening.
Finally, now the second segment of the ceremony is to introduce Nigeria Law School of International Studies, Entrepreneurship, Inter-American Studies and Intercultural Relations. She also has keynotes and established new group where she taught part of Tulane from the University of Maryland, College Park, and a BA in International Relations and Peace Studies from New College. AUN is indeed proud and privileged
of Nigeria, endowed with all the powers and responsibilities as president of the university.
Thank you, Chairman. Let me thank all of you, both for asking me to serve as your president and for the wonderful wealth, the most exciting and certainly the most rewarding one. When you go to a new place, you can never really prepare yourself for what lies ahead, no matter how hard you try. You really just take a leap of faith. For me, it has been a very long leap from Northern California to Nigeria, and I am so very glad that I made it. Today we celebrate the 5th anniversary of the founding of AUN. Today we celebrate the vision, the passions, and the generosity of His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. As the 3rd president of this extraordinary institution, I would like to take this opportunity very briefly to reflect on what we are doing, why we are doing it, and where I think our future lies. What is it about American university education that has seemed attractive to others around the world? What led this generous man who is with us today, our founder, to launch this university? I believe the answer may lie in part with the orientation of U.S. higher education, and it lies with the challenges, as our founder just said, that the world of the 21st century is facing. Let's go back just for a minute to where universities began. Universities in Europe started as very conservative institutions. Their job was to train a very small educated elite. This elite was to memorize, preserve, and pass down the best that had been thought and known, such as medieval theology, ancient Greek philosophy, and Roman law. In this, they were little different from other traditional cultures all over the world, teaching by rote the received wisdom of the ages. This was an indispensable service to society. But quite early in its history, the U.S. left traditional ways. Just like Nigeria today, it began to forge a new sort of society, increasingly democratic, increasingly modern, increasingly industrial. American universities were educating leaders for a new nation made up of people from many cultures and languages, just like Nigeria. American universities were less concerned with preserving the past than with finding ways to create a new future. Colleges and universities had new things to do. Were expected to pitch in. The philosophy and the institutions of doing it. You can't, quote, just do it. It requires a difficult set of... So American universities became far more democratic than most others. Power and responsibility came to be shared among administrators, faculty, staff, and students. At AUN, we teach democracy by becoming increasingly democratic ourselves. That is why I have insisted we have a democratically elected faculty senate, an elected staff council, an independent student government, and now an active alumni association. It established its yearly Human Development Report. The report has very useful information about how well and how poorly nations are doing. It contains data about how healthy countries' populations are and how long they live, about whether people have access to education and to clean water, about how women are treated, how wealthy the average citizen is, and how free their citizens are to participate in society. 5 years ago, when AUN opened its doors, Nigeria was listed 158th on the list of 177 countries. This year, Nigeria has risen to 142nd. That's up 16 places. We should be proud of that achievement. Progress, after all, rest of Africa and the world, there are other hard truths. Global warming is a hard truth. The spread of AIDS, malaria, and other diseases is a hard truth. Inequality, poverty, violence, and political repression, all hard truths. Universities, good universities, deal in hard truths. And then they get to work. That is why I'm especially excited to announce a new AUN initiative here today. I am proud to announce the creation of our new AUN Center for International Development and Social Entrepreneurship. This new center will give us the tools, the technology, and the knowledge, the new tools, the new technology, and the new knowledge that we all need to be problem solvers right here where we live. It's another first for AUN, because we will be the first university in Nigeria to pioneer social entrepreneurship solutions and to apply them. We will use the best research, the best evidence, and the best practices about what really works in the world to address the real problems in our part of the world. All of our senior staff support this new center, a center that I hope he won't mind that we want to name after our visionary founder, His Excellency Atiku. We live in difficult times. We face daunting challenges. Solutions to our problems will require all the intelligence, all the knowledge, the courage, the goodwill, and the dedication we can all muster. And just as American universities evolved to train people to build a new America, so the American University of Nigeria was created to help build a new Nigeria and a new world, a better Nigeria and a better world. AUN is young, and AUN right now is small. The tasks facing humankind are enormous and complex. It's easy to lose heart. It is easy to falter. It's easy to feel overwhelmed. But I would have not come here if I didn't believe in the future. I would not have come here if I did not believe in AUN. I would not have come here. I would not have come here if I did not believe in you and what together we can all accomplish. Finally, as we leave here today, I would ask you to remember and to take to heart what the great American anthropologist Margaret Mead once told us. Never believe that a few caring people cannot change the world. For indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Thank you.
To call the founder a little later to come on.
The founder, the demonstration of good faith is the words of the President of the American University as regards the challenges that face us as a nation. I want to agree with you. I believe you also share that with me, that Nigeria as a country has come to stay. We will do what it takes to carve a niche for ourselves in the Committee of Nations. That reminds me, Founder Sir, Mahatma Gandhi said, if you want to change, be the instrument for that change. We as individuals, either at family, corporate, or in our different fields of endeavor, must be the instrument that will change our society. I think that what the American University is doing here in Yola is a good case in point. The more I study, the more I interact with the university community here, the more I discover in them the Puritan spirit that pervaded Europe, and they led to the transformation, both economic and technological transformation of Europe in those days. What are these values? The core values are the values of diligence, honesty, hard work, respect for rule of law, altruism, and frugality. If you see somebody who has succeeded in his personal life, you will definitely find these values. And I think these are the remarkable things that I've discovered happening here in the university. that has made me to be a friend of this university. I believe you'll agree with me that if we channel our energies positively in Nigeria, in a matter of 25 years, or even less, we could come to terms with developments as they exist now in other parts of the world. What we therefore need to do is to imbibe these values that I've mentioned as core values, build on them.
I appreciate and by now